Hi, my name is Jeff Fisher, and I'm a teacher in Southern California. I've been teaching for this is my 32nd year, and I've been teaching independent studies for, uh, this is my 6th year, I believe, at a continuation high school. Um, on Friday, March 13th, at about 4:30, we received a notification from our school district that we were being shut down by the county because of the coronavirus. Since then, I think it was a few days later, there was notification from the governor of California that we would be shut down. We were originally shut down till April 6th. Now, as I speak with you, we're shut down till April 30th. But the governor also made mention that he doesn't think that schools will reopen again until August. So, what I'm here to talk with you about and share with you are things that may help you if you're a teacher and you have to go the online learning route. Um, I've been working with my independent students for forever, of course, about 6 years, and these are things that I've developed over the years um, to help them so that they can take care of most of their work online. Um, so let me start sharing. So the one thing that I use over here, it's called Padlet at padlet.com. And Padlet has the ability to put all sorts of links to everything that you could possibly need. And I have set this up, I think, about a year, maybe 2 years ago, just to help my students. So they have video resources of things that I've made. They have login information. They have help sites. I have YouTube so they can get help with their instruction if they get stuck. And it's nice. It's very visual, and I like it a lot. Next thing that I use, and lots of us use it, is Gmail. Our district is a Google school. I guess that's what it's called. And our main accounts are through Gmail. So we have access to all sorts of things related to Google. I also use Google Drive for storage and sharing information. I have kids share stuff with me all the time. Um, I use, yep, I use Google Classroom for uh, my students for supplemental assignments. Most of the work that they do is the academic courses and electives are online, but I also have them do supplemental activities that I require them to do. Not sure if I'm going to do that during this time. Um, and I'll talk about that a little bit more here after I go through everything. Also, in conjunction with Google Classroom, I started using this last year. I use Flipgrid a lot, and this is great. Kids can do little videos, pieces. There's all sorts of resources available there. I suggest you check that out. For communication purposes, I use Google Voice. That's the first one I started using. That way I can text back and forth with my students. Again, I have high school students, so um, don't know how well this would work with middle school or elementary kids, but it works great with my independent study kids that want to use it. I have a second option, which is probably the better choice, and I recommend this one highly, especially if you have 150 students or less, because this is completely free. And by the way, Google Voice is completely free too, at least the part that I use for the texting back and forth. But here you can use this. It's completely free, like I said, up to 150 students. If you go above 150 students, your school or your district would have to make a purchase. But if you're within that range, this is excellent for setting up. You can send out mass messages, especially during this time when things are up in the air related to the coronavirus and schools being open or closed, or what's going on, or when they might possibly reopen. Um, you can text back and forth individually with students, also parents if they want to sign up, as long as you keep it under that 150. And it's just a great tool. I highly recommend this one for communication. And communication is so important, besides just email. Um, I think because everybody texts. So these two, Google Voice and Remind, are very, very important. When it comes to main content, I use Apex. It's online coursework. Our district purchased this specifically for certain individuals within our district to use it. I use it mostly for some elective courses that I offer to my students. I have over 40 courses uh, that I offer my kids that they can take for high school graduation, but mostly just a few elective courses. This used to be the main one that I used about 5 years ago, 5, 6 years ago when I got started. And then we made the switch over that eventually led up to um, Edgenuity. And again, this is a purchase that our school made through uh, the district. Not everybody in our district uses this. There's a limited number of schools that use Edgenuity, but it is probably by far the best video online instruction for for students that I've seen. Apex is good, but Edgenuity is so much more complete for the kids. Um, Again, this is a purchase, so you may not have this available. Um, Also, I would recommend YouTube. YouTube comes in very handy, especially for my kids. If they're taking a look at their online uh, coursework that they're doing in the video instruction and they don't quite understand what's going on, I usually ask them, okay, what are you working on? And I say, okay, uh, for example, here, maybe they're factoring trinomials. So I say, go to YouTube and type in help with factoring trinomials. And then there's all sorts of different ways that other individuals show you how to do this. And usually, uh, for the most part, especially if the kids don't have time to come and see me in person, and of course they're not going to be able to right now during this coronavirus crisis, but there are good resources out there, and usually they can take a look at other ways in which instructors are showing them how to do something, and they can usually figure it out. So YouTube is a great resource as well. I sometimes use what's called Paperator, and especially when it comes to grading English papers, it's very helpful. It's available for free through schools. I'm not sure if you'll be able to get a free account right now with everything that's going on, but it's worth checking out. The other thing that I started up with my students here recently is I called a monthly student course analysis, and I do this through a couple of avenues. The main piece of instruction that they take a look at is through the Google Classroom, um, and uh, I use Google Forms. So you can see this is a Google Sheet, um, but this is something new that I started up with my kids, so they can share with me additional pieces of information on what they've been learning. when I meet with my kids weekly, and as of right now, that's kind of on hold. Um, our school district is working with the county and the state to try to come up with uh, alternative online learning for all students. I have a feeling what I'm doing will meet the criteria, but I don't want to do anything that's going to possibly jeopardize um, student progress. So I pretty much put that on hold until we get information from our school district as to how to progress. And we're going to receive that, I believe they said, on March 23rd sometime. Anyway, I have several pieces here that I use to set up weekly assignment sheets. Instead of writing a paper version, I fill out Google Forms. Uh, it takes the information, puts it on a template, and then it creates a paper type form that the kids get every week from me. Um, I use I use a an add-on through Google Sheets that's called Autocrat, and if you want, there's a great video. Matter of fact, I'm going to find it right now on YouTube. It's put together by Brent Coley, and he's the one. I actually saw him at a conference, um, a Q conference, and basically explaining how to use Autocrat. And I would take a look at this one right here and this one right here if you're interested. And so with all those pieces that I have in place, um, I am able to pretty much do everything that I need to do with my kids online during the crisis. So if you have any additional questions for me, uh, be sure to comment below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. So everybody be safe out there, lie low, stay at home, and wash your hands a lot. Take care.